Do you find that when you approach surfing, do you feel like there are some can you find some like Buddhist elements to it, to the surfing? Do you see some lessons in there or some
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. So the reason why we meditate, we practice Zazen meditation is to become one with nature, like others. And I think it we can apply this into the many things. Okay, let's say when you are studying, if you're studying, just thinking about the studying, you can become one with studying. And even I'm doing the surfing, I'm on the wave. At that time, I don't think about the angle of the body, about the board. I don't think about anything. Just follow uh, the waves and yes, try to become one with wave. And I can feel it. I can feel it. Yeah,
yeah. And
that
you're
is a yes, yeah. That is a very
that's wonderful.
I guess yes.
Yeah, and it kind of carries you in too. You kind of have to let go and be carried by the wave too
Mm,
as you kind of come in.
mm.
And I saw that sometimes you like to lead practice. You sometimes lead service outside, at least for yourself. Like you'll video yourself
Ah,
outside leading
yeah, yeah,
zazen.
yeah.
What is it like doing zazen outside on the grass near a shore versus inside in a temple setting?
Mm. Yeah, like a different experience. And the reason why I sometimes do the outside of the temple is just I'm not in the temple. Sometimes I'm visiting like inter island. The last time I went to the Molokai, in the Molokai there is a Zen Buddhist temple, one Japanese Zen temple, and there is no ministers, no priest, and there are several people who want to study Zen Buddhism. So some of them asked me, "Could you come to over Molokai?" And yes, for sure, and I visited them. At that time, like I couldn't, host prayer service and meditation at Rinzai Zen Mission in Paia. So I just chose the outside. Yeah. So yeah, basically I conduct prayer service and have Zazen practice at church.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's a beautiful setting
Oh yeah,
to do that. And
yeah. Many people said so. Yeah,
yeah,
I
oh
think.
good, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I noticed that as well that you will go and observe or visit
Mm.
other temples that are Zen related, sometimes Soto Zen, sometimes otherwise. And
Mhm.
then I've seen that you've also visited some Shingon and some Jodo Shinshu temples as
Yes.
well in
Yes.
Hawaii. What is that like to be a part of the Buddhist temple network of Hawaii? Like, is it
Oh.
do you like kind of like that community? It's like that how different it can be?
Yeah. We have some like association of the temple in
Mm,
Hawaii, but like it doesn't to be honest, they belongs to like a one group, like association, but it's very rare to help each other. I guess as the old temple are the independent, perhaps some of the temple are very busy, so yeah, they cannot take care of like other temples. But our temple is kind of slow, and the member is not so many. And I think the Rinzai Zen temple is only here, only one temple in Hawaii, and only two temples in the U.S. The one is California, and the other one is Paia, Maui.
mm,
So other schools had many branches. Let's say like a Shingon Mission, Shingon School Temple. There are a couple on Maui, and then there are couples like other in the island. So yeah, I feel I need a network.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and also like I like to study like other Buddhist teaching
Mm, mm.
and
Well,
like even Christianity. When I was in the college student, I studied abroad to the Australia, and every Sunday I went to the Christian church to study. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What what draws you to wanting to study and learn more about Christianity? Do you feel connected to it beyond just like kind of looking at it through a study?
Yes, I'm like cause like learning other religions are very important for me. Cause like I want to find like the common thing which all the it's easy to criticize, oh, this religion is, this point is bad, or oh, it's not good, or it's easy to find the difference, but it's hard to find like a common thing. And the reason why I went to the Christianity church, I also respect the people who dedicating the Christianity, and I want to learn like a more teaching and or what is the similarity as the Buddhism, what is the difference as Buddhism, and yeah, I was very curious.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate your interest and your curiosity and that want to find that universal thing, to find something that is like that
Yeah, yeah,
resonates in truth.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Universal thing. Yeah, that's what
yeah.
I wanted to say. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
And did you like living in Australia?
Oh yes, I enjoyed, but at that time, I'm still learning the English, but at that time it was worse, so it was very hard to catch up the life, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear that.
Yeah, but
Um,
I enjoyed I enjoyed Australia, and yeah, I still have some friends over there too.
oh, good. Oh, that's great. And oh, I meant to congratulate you by the way, because if I'm doing my math correctly, you're about a year into your leadership of the Rinzai Zen Mission in Paia. So congratulations on 1 year into your
Oh,
time.
thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How has that been? I mean, from how you were about a year ago today, how does it feel to be a year into it?
Um. Yes. I I think like a temple in Japan, the temple in Hawaii, a little bit like different. The people are different. The way to run the temple a little bit different. So yes, now I get used to I get used to the life in Hawaii. Yes.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. And I saw that you were right recently taking the pictures out of the frames of past ministers, and you're cleaning them and then re-hanging them up on the wall,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah, thank you.
It looks beautiful, and it was great to kind of see some of the history and get to see some of the space of the
Mm.
Rinzai Zen Mission. Did you, when you were doing that, did you make any connections to these past ministers, and did you learn anything about them while you were kind of looking through these photos?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the process, but like the first year everything passed so quick and many things to do. But now, as I said, I get used to the life in Hawaii, and I learned a little bit more history about the temple, the community, the history of the island. So like this year, like a second year, I want to, I want to share the stories of the histories of our temple community, and I want to make the temple more attractive. So like once people, so let's say I hang up the past the minister the pictures, and I wrote something, the name and the the time of office, when he was born, when he passed away, like yeah, the very the basic things though. But yeah, or if the people come to the temple, oh, that this is the founder, or this is the second founder. Oh, this temple has this kind of histories. You know, I want to make the visitors happy through visiting the temple.
Yeah, well, it has the Rinzai Zen Mission has such a rich history
Yeah.
because I think it's one of the first and continuous, like it's been going for a long time since its beginning, of Japanese immigrant community
Mm,
members, right, of a Rinzai
right.
temple. And it's gone through a couple of tsunamis, and it's
Yeah.
been burned down once
Mm,
and rebuilt by the connections with Japan, but also I think the center part was rebuilt by Sangha members, right?
yes.
It's amazing. It's an amazing story.
Yeah. Thank you for like researching the histories. Yes. So like I'm so fortunate to be here, and like as long as I'm here, yeah, I want to contribute to the temple. I want to help the community keeps yeah, yes.
Yeah. And your goal to make the temple look great is so
Mhm.
successful. It really you make it look awesome. The
Thank you.
the footage of the Obon celebrations and the t-shirts and the food and the community members dancing and the lanterns at night and it looked amazing. And then I did also see there was a part of a video where a big rainstorm happened, right? During your
Mm,
Obon.
yeah,
Was that
very rare.
mm.
Yeah.
But even more rare, there was like a moonbow, not a rainbow, right? Is it a moonbow,
Oh,
right?
oh, oh, yeah, Mumbo.
Yeah. What did that look like? I don't think I've ever seen one of those.
Oh, it's like a real rainbow, but the color is only white. The color
Wow.
white, but like the shape is yeah, really looks like rainbow.
And it was a full moon, right? It was a full moon,
Yeah,
so a
from
lot of
an
light.
yeah.
Wow.
So people said that we can see we may see a moonbow at like a full moon time, and if we got the rain and the rain passed, after that we could see uh, moonbow.
Wow. Wow. I feel like that makes it even more special to have that happen.
Yeah.
And then with your celebrations and everything, do you have something upcoming at the Rinzai Zen Mission that's another event that happens before the end of the year?
Oh yes, we have mm, ramen sale.
Okay.
Yeah, bazaar. Yes.
Oh, cool.
This this end of month, like October 26th, the last
Mm-mm.
Saturday of this month. Yeah, yeah, this is a fundraiser. Yeah, like our temple has the members, but like it's a small congregation, so we always need like a fundraiser to keep the temple alive. Yeah, so we have twice. We have ramen set twice a year. The one is March,
Mm,
and the other one is October.
mm,
And
mm.
Obon is the biggest one too. So yeah, we have like three biggest like a social events.
Yeah. And as part of those social events, like the food that really does look quite amazing. And I think there was like a pig foot
Big feet
pig
too.
feet
Yeah,
stew.
big
Yeah,
feet.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And I've never tried that, but it looks like there's some really great community recipes and family recipes and things like that that come in.
Oh yeah, I think that's a family recipe, and almost more than 100 years ago, the first immigrant came, and they still using the old recipe. So
Yeah.
like some people say, "Oh, it's a Buddhist temple," but you guys selling like the meat, the pig feet. Oh, that sounds very gross. But people say something. Sometimes people say something like that. But I respect the culture. Okay, the especially our temple's roots is Okinawan people. Okinawa is a part of Japan, but kind of isolated from the mainland. Like the US mainland in Hawaii, something like
Mm.
that. The Okinawa is very similar to Hawaii, and then our members, the original members, are from Okinawa Prefecture, and the pig feet soup and andagi, which is like a donuts, and Okinawan don, which is called Okinawan donuts, and yeah, they are very special, very unique food, and they 100 years ago they brought they came and then they use now we are still using the same recipe as
Wow.
years ago. So yeah, I respect that.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll have to try one of these Okinawa donuts too. That sounds amazing. That sounds really, really good. And yeah, for sure, like there's the cultural element with eating meat. And I see that when, sometimes you'll post a video or a picture of some of the food that you make, and a lot of it has vegetables, and you make it look so good. Like your pumpkin soup looked really good. You made like an udon noodle bowl, which would look really amazing.
Thank
Do you like
you.
to cook a lot? Is that cooking something that you like to
Oh
do?
yes, yes, I like cooking.
Mm,
Yes, I
yeah.
like to grow the vegetables. Yes, sometimes I
Mm,
go fishing. Not so many.
mm.
Yeah, in my daily life, yeah, mostly the plant based. I eat more vegetables than I like vegetables, but sometimes I eat meat, fish. Yeah,
Mm.
okay, yes.
And the fruits and vegetables that you get, d- is it is it a lot different than what you kind of grew up eating, and you're kind of making kind of more what can grow in Maui and what's fresh in Maui and from your garden work, or do you feel like you can replicate some of the things that you uh, had before you moved to Maui?
Oh, yes. So like before moving to Hawaii, I was in the monastery in Japan, and it's kind of that we grow the vegetables, we cook by ourselves, and we don't use like gas. So
Mm.
uh, we use a wood
Oh,
to make fire. It's very uh, like old school,
yeah.
very old school. Yeah, something like that. So like I know somehow how to how to cook, how to grow the vegetables, but here the climate is a little bit different. So I'm still learning, and I will ask my friend the advice, and especially here the water is very expensive, so I have to think about the water bill too, and or how to save how I can save money, how I can save the water. uh, Sometimes the mostly when I wash the dishes and I keep the water, and then I give the water to the plant after the lunch dinner. Try to save the water. Yes, and then as you pointed out to me, yes, some vegetables are the first time to grow.
Yeah. Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
like a kale. I never tried kale, but without a lot of water, they grow so and tasty. So
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
little
Okay.
yes.
I didn't know that. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, with Maui not having a lot of, like, with water being expensive because of there aren't as many springs or something like that, not as many like fresh water sources for
Mm,
that. Does it? And I admire your thinking to take some of the water that you're already using and see if instead of it going down the drain, it can go to something else to help a
mm,
plant grow or
yeah.
something like that. And uh, do you like to garden? Do you like to kind of be out and plant trees and
Yes, I like it. We just planted like a mango tree. uh,
yeah,
it takes time, 20 years, 10 years, and then perhaps I won't be here, but the investment for the future.
yeah. One day someone will have a
Always.
nice
Yeah,
mango. Yeah.
yeah. Hope so.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So what made you in general not only come to Maui to lead the Rinzai Zen mission, but what made you want to kind of pursue the Buddhist path in general? Like what made you want to make this something that you were doing with basically all of yourself?
Okay, so I was born in the temple, in a temple in Japan. So my father, and like it's kind of like a family business in Japan. Take over, and then pass down to the like a next generation. It's kind of like that. And my grandfather was a Buddhist minister, and my father took over that position, and I was born at a temple. So like since I was born, I was familiar with a temple. But like the temple I grew up was very small, and it's my father was struggled to manage. I have two siblings, and my parents have to take care of the kids, and it always costs money. And but the temple in Japan was that temple was very small, and my father always told to me, you don't need to take care of the temple. You don't need to take over the temple if you want to become, if you want. Yeah, it's really up to you if you want to get the other job. You can just take it. Don't worry about the temple. So yeah, that was yes, old memory like when I was a kid. And
Mm,
yeah, I was kind of like familiar with the temple. That is the truth.
mm, mm. And so you grew up in an environment that was within a temple family, and you were given kind
Hmm.
of the space to pursue whatever you wanted. I mean, like
Yeah.
you didn't have to stay with this temple. And then
Hmm.
did you go off and try something before becoming uh before leading the Rinzai Zen mission, or did you kind of always stay within a Buddhist track?
Um. So my initial plan, the high school student, okay, I at that time, I was studying the economics, and okay, I wanna work in the bank, and I wanna make money. It was kind of dream for me, and I went to the college. I studied economics too, and I studied abroad Australia, and it was my first experience. Wow, I wanna work overseas, and but like one time I came back to the home after studying abroad, and then I joined the service, and then I felt, wow, this is amazing, and maybe I can go to the monasteries, maybe the 1 year or 2 years, and then after that I can work, uh, like I can choose the another way. I just want to have an experience of monastic life. How then like I went to the monastery, and then I met a great teacher, and he was really amazing, and I was into it, into the Buddhist path. Then I had been in the monastery. Initial plan was like 1 year or 2 years, and okay, after that I go overseas again. I have to go to overseas again, or get like a new job and make money. But like a monastic life experience changed my idea, uh, and yeah, I'm still a Buddhist monk now. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you had such a positive experience and that you found a teacher that really inspired you, that really
yeah, yeah.
kept you going.
Yeah.
What was something that you learned from your teacher that helped you learn that this monastic lifestyle, at least for at that time, was the right fit and something that you wanted to go deeper into and really continue to focus?
Mm, mm, yeah, so I'm still thinking what was the reason. Very beautiful, studying at like a 3:30 a.m. sometimes like a 2 a.m. we wake up and the day start. It's very hard. The first 1 year it's always scolded by the senior, and it was very hard time. But like if the continue and after 1 year, I knew like a little bit, older, that a little bit knows how everything goes and kind of get familiar with the life in the monastery. And since then, somehow I could enjoy the life. I could concentrate on meditation more, and especially like after zazen meditation, very my mind, it becomes very clear, which I had never experienced. Oh, this could be the this is amazing, and I want to see. I wanted to seek more and more. And as for the teacher, yes, he, as you said, he inspired me a lot and showed me the different perspectives, a lot of perspectives, which I never had learned in the school. In the school, always thinking about, okay, uh, how to make study more and go to the nice universities, the colleges, and find a good job and find the partners. Always like this way, like a capitalism. And I thought that way is right until the the experience in the monastery. But the monastery, the teacher shared me that another perspective. Okay, the value of life is not money. The value of the life is not, you know, simply family. And
Yeah.
that time, wow, this is amazing. Yes, I want to study more, and I want to study more, and I want to tell the people who don't know yet. Because until the monastery, I didn't know. Like now, so I feel I want to share the Buddhist teaching, the Buddhist wisdom. Of course, I respect. Like it's the up to the people, but I believe there are many people who doesn't know, but if they know, they like it.
Right. It can feel true for them, or it can help them have that clearer mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you was this at Myoshinji, or is that where did you do your monastery?
Oh, the monastery, our head temple is Myoshinji.
Myoshinji.
But I went to Enkaku-ji temple. This
Mm,
is one of the headquarters of like a Rinzai Zen school. So the
mm,
Rinzai Zen school has many headquarters. Like I think 13, and the one is Myoshinji, and the one is the Enkaku-ji. And then I like the teacher in Enkaku-ji, so I chose Enkaku-ji temple to study.
mm, mm, mm.
So the each temple, like each headquarter temple has uh, like a teacher, and we can choose. I could choose which temple to go.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Like, yeah.
and you can kind of get the flavor or the type of teaching that you might get by just kind of understanding which
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
teacher is going to be leading it.
Yeah, and the one of the unique point of Rinzai Zen school is we have the many teachers, and then the core teaching is the same, but the way to teach or idea is a little bit different. Different. You said different flavor.
Mm,
So that is, I think, the interesting point. So Zen Buddhism, especially Rinzai Zen school, doesn't stick to oh, you have to follow like strictly this way. We never say, and like the core point is the same, but the flavor a little bit different. That is an interesting point of Rinzai Zen school. The Soto Zen school, and on the other hand, Soto Zen school, they follow the Dogen Zenji's way. So very like a strict. Okay, we should follow the Dogen Zenji's teaching. We have to go through the same path of path of the Dogen Zenji. But the Rinzai Zen school a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I know that I know in the way that a service or a zazen service can be organized, Soto
Mhm.
Zen, they face a wall, and
Yeah.
Rinzai, they face the Sangha.
Yeah.
They face
Facing
in.
in. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Uh, do you know why there is that difference? Like why Soto prefers to focus towards a wall, and why Rinzai likes to face the Sangha?
Oh, this is a point we sometimes discuss, and we don't have like a clear answer. But like people said, mm, all days we Rinzai Zen school student also do like facing out, like the same as Soto Zen school. And then
Mm.
like one time they changed to the facing in, but we don't know the reason why.
Oh, okay.
So,
Mystery.
yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe the Edo period. People say Edo period. It was 200 years ago.
Mm. And do you think that in general, the core of Rinzai is more or less similar to Soto Zen's core, or do you think that there are fundamental differences beyond, I guess that structure of Zazen? Like, do you think that they are very different, or is it is the core different beyond the Dogen straight line? Like this is how it is, this is how it needs to be, and then there's a little more flexibility with Rinzai. Like, are there fundamental differences between the two other than that?
And
Is it like
yeah,
is there a big difference between Rinzai or Soto Zen, or is it more just kind of organizational things?
oh, well, yeah, that's a good question. Hmm. I think the history is related
Mm,
because the
mm,
Soto Zen school, like a Dogen Zenji, that brought the Buddhist teaching, Zen teaching from China to Japan. So they the Soto Zen school follows the Dogen path. But the Rinzai Zen school, it is said that the Eisai Zenji brought the Zen Buddhism, Rinzai Zen Buddhism from China to here. At the same time, like other teachers, other like a minister brought the Rinzai Zen Buddhism to Japan. So the like foundation, the beginning was a little bit different. The background, because the Soto Zen, okay, only Dogen Zenji opened the Soto Zen school, so they just follow. But the Rinzai Zen school, like their the era is a little bit different, but uh, the many people several ministers studied the Rinzai Zen school in the different places. That is why the foundation is a little bit different, and we still follow that way.
mm, mm, mm.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering that, because it's to someone that's new to Buddhism, sometimes they'll ask, well, what's the difference between Rinzai and Zen, or and Soto Zen? And I appreciate you kind of helping me understand like
Mm-hmm.
how like in the history, the way that it kind of coalesced, like how it all came together,
Mm-hmm.
is more or less the same in the further back in history, but then as it became more, as Dogen arrived, and as things started to kind of more or less come together
Mm-hmm.
locally, then it started to have their differences. And
Mm-hmm.
within the Rinzai Zen mission, do you work with koans with your sangha? Is koan work a part of the weekly or monthly services that you do there?
Oh, so in order to teach Koan, we have to I have to get certified, and only like a limited the people can teach Koan. And in order to um, become a master, let's say the master is a teacher who can teach Koan. In order to become master, we say we have to pass 1700 like a Koan like a question. It takes 10 years, more than 10 years, at least 10
Wow.
years to pass all questions. Sometimes in order to pass one question, it takes a year, 3 months, 5 months, more than that, sometimes 3 years in order to pass one question.
Wow.
If the master deny that your answer, we can never pass and we can never go to the next question. And it's not like a easy question. Like a
Mm-mm.
Koan is a little bit different than the normal questions. And yeah, that is why it's very, very difficult to pass all the questions.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, so I'm not eligible to teach Koan over here. I'm still studying, yes, Koan.
Mm.
Yeah, in the monastery, I was studying the Koan, and over here, there was the teacher, no master, so I cannot continue. But I don't know in the future if I go back to Japan. Yeah, I study more question too, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for uh answering that too, because it really gives you the idea of how difficult that work is. I mean, if you can spend 1 year on one koan, maybe, or maybe more, maybe a little bit less, but maybe
Mm,
more, it just shows the how much you have to go through it. You really have to like go through the
mm,
koan and try to uh, integrate it or internalize it and really process that koan.
mm,
Yeah, so thank you for sharing that. And I'm it's good to see that it might be something that you might be wanting to get a certificate in later on.
mm.
And when you are leading your sangha at the Rinzai Zen Mission, um, is there something that the sangha likes to do that brings everyone together outside of kind of those obon and things like that? Do they like to come for uh, sitting zazen service, or do they like to come for, I don't know if you offer doksan, but do they like to do something in particular that makes it unique to the Rinzai Zen Mission?
Oh well, yes, we have we host our meditation Zazen practice like every Saturdays. But like as I said, like I cannot teach Koan, so we cannot host the Doksan. I cannot
Mm-mm.
host the Doksan,
Mm.
and yeah, that is the only thing I'm doing in the temple. Maybe
Yeah,
very and yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the only thing I guess.
that's the
Zazen
thing. Yeah,
practice.
I
Yeah,
didn't realize that doksan was specifically for the koan work too. So thank you for answering that. And
yeah.
your altar space, the space at the temple is very beautiful.
Oh yes, thank you.
How you have it all put together. And is that when you look at where you did your monastery training, the building is, I'm sure, different itself, and how many rooms and how many different
Mm,
things are allowed in the space itself when you were training. But
mhm.
when you got to know this altar and when you got to know this setup of the temple, is there something that you feel particularly connected to on the altar, or that's a part of the temple setup itself? I mean, is there something like, oh, I now seeing Kanon or something like that here, or another element of the temple there, I feel like I'm in a different place, but I can connect to it a little bit better.
Oh, yeah, I can feel the connection.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, even here. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Uh, is there something specific about the Rinzai Zen mission that's different than other Rinzai temples you've seen?
You mean a Rinzai Zen temple in Japan?
or anywhere else that you've seen them. That makes the Rinzai mission, the Rinzai Zen mission, a little bit more unique.
Okay, so like here, like this Rinzai Zen mission is only one Rinzai Zen temple in Hawaii, so I cannot compare to like other Rinzai Zen temple in overseas, and like the building is totally different, and mostly Japanese Rinzai Zen temple is built. The material is wood. So and here is concrete, so a little bit different, feel different, but still like chanting the sutra, the statue is pretty similar, and yeah, I feel the strong connection to them. Yes.
Yeah, I'd imagine too. It also maybe looked a little bit different when it was first built. You know, when back in the 1932 or something like that. It must have been a little bit different.
Yeah, but maybe like they experienced in the fire and the tsunami, so they needed to build by more like a strong material, the concrete. Yeah,
to last the
the last
winds and
long.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for when you study, by the way, like when you're just as far as connecting goes, like is there something that you're studying right now, um, throughout your day or throughout your weeks that you are feeling particularly connected to right now? I don't know if there's a sutra or something like that that you're working with, or if there is a koan that you're working with yourself, but is there something that you are particularly interested in right now?
Okay, so what my interest right now is the Buddhist teaching, whether Buddhist teaching can apply in the US or uh, the reason why this question come up is in Japan basically we say okay, if you're doing right way, the people will help you if you uh, give more than take. You have to become a giver, not taker. To be nice to others, to be nice to others first, and that is the Buddhist teaching, and maybe like a Japanese culture foundation. But the U.S. Is a different country, the different cultures. So like one lady asked me, okay, you're saying, being nice to others is very, yeah, very good, beautiful, good idea. But the people sometimes take advantage of you, or people say, don't lower yourself, don't sacrifice yourself to others. And okay, so that is a good opportunity to think about. Okay, so being nice to others really works in the different, like different countries, different in different culture. Like I spend most of the life, most of the time in Japan, so like I know it works in Japan, and here the U.S. Like a Christian culture, uh, in the Christianity culture, yeah, they say, being nice to others, and many like angel like investment, and many people are very nice, but still, oh, here America is or independent country, get protect myself first. That's it. That is another aspect too, and it, it can be it cannot generalize, because in the diversity, so I cannot say like, oh, this is the US culture, this is Japanese culture, we cannot say, and I don't want to criticize, but like what I want to say is how does the Buddhist teaching works in other countries. Do I have to change something, or should I just do what I was doing in Japan to in the other countries? That is my question. That is my interest to study.
And very important, big
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Yeah. And you're right. Like I think in other countries, not every country, but in other countries, there are people that are monastics. They can go with an alms bowl and they can go
Mm-hmm.
and have food offerings, and it's not considered strange. Whereas in America, I don't know how many cities or communities would be accepting of people begging for food or for receiving
Oh yeah,
alms.
yes, yes. And
On a
yeah, let's say like one time people came, a person came to temple, and then we sell the like a Zen Buddhist teaching books, and he said he want to buy like a five, but I don't have money right now, and he said he would come back, so can I get five? And yes, okay, the $50, you own the $50, you can please come back and it's okay, whenever you come back. And he after that he never showed up. It happens. So like trusting somebody is like I was uh people sometimes people said to me, oh, you're a fool, you should not do that, you cannot trust like strangers. But mm, that this is a like a difficult point. Like I want to trust the people, I want to help the people, at the same time thinking about the other aspect too. That is, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard balance to
Yeah,
strike.
heartburn. Yeah, so like
Yeah,
I'm thinking like this kind of thing right now.
yeah. Well, I'm very sorry that that happened. But I guess there's a good thing about the books going out into wherever they went, and hopefully that
Mhm.
will help somebody somehow, some
Yes,
way.
yes,
Uh,
yes.
but it
Yeah.
doesn't help your pocket, your wallet or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And well, and that is it's a major thing to be trying to trying to reconcile, trying to think about where, can the things that I learned in my monastic training be applied to this country in the same way, or does it have to be adjusted to meet
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
culture that I'm
Yeah.
in? Um,
Yeah.
and I'd imagine too, the culture that you have in Maui is maybe different than a culture that you might find elsewhere in the United States too. It's just like
Mhm. Yeah.
there's there are differences even among um, different states of
Mhm.
America. Well, Sen, thank you so much for speaking with me today. I really appreciate you taking the time
Thank
to
you
talk.
very much.
Yes, it's so much fun to speak with you.
Yeah,
And
time passed so fast. Thank you very much.
oh yeah, of course, of course.
Yes.